This is the FCTO Daily Forex News Report for the 2nd of July 2013. The Australian dollar weakened mildly today after the Reserve Bank of Australia left the cash rate unchanged at 2.75% as widely expected. The accompanying statement noted further decline in commodity prices and continued moderation of global inflationary outlook over the recent months as reasons for this unchange. Policymakers viewed that despite the decline in the currency in the recent month, the Aussie has stayed at a high level, but it is possible that the exchange rate will depreciate further over time, which would help to foster a rebalancing of growth in the economy. The Reserve Bank believed that the easier financial conditions now in place will contribute to a strengthening of growth over time, consistent with achieving the inflation target. With the policy rate of 4.25%, the central bank viewed that it has remained appropriate for the time being, and the inflation outlook may provide some scope for further easing should that be required to support demand. In the UK, the British Chambers of Commerce warned that economic growth could be slow and a sustained upturn cannot be taken for granted. It urged that business access to finance and working capital in particular must be assured. It urged the Bank of England to boost lending by expanding the so-called Funding for Lending scheme and widen the asset purchase programme to include securitized debts from smaller companies. The Chambers of Commerce said that the manufacturers' domestic sales index rose to 16 in Q2, up from 12 in Q1. Export sales index rose to 23, up from 19. The domestic services gauge improved to 20, up from 12. Export services measure rose to 36, up from 33. Overall, markets are relatively steady, waiting for the employment data from the US later this week. The Dow closed 65 points higher, but failed to close above the 15,000 level. Asian equities were mixed. US Treasury yields extended recent consolidations, with 10-year yield closing mildly higher at 2.49%. Gold also extended last week's recovery and is trading above the 1250 level for the moment, whilst the dollar index hovers around the 83 level. On the data front, Japan monetary base rose 36% year-on-year in June. Labour cash earnings were flat year-on-year in May. Looking ahead, the UK will release PMI construction, the Eurozone will release PPI, while the US will release factory orders. For all the news affecting the Forex market throughout the day, join us at forexcurrencytradingonline.co.uk. That's forexcurrencytradingonline.co.uk.